Hi friends, welcome to this technical series on surface coatings. Here you can see some luminescent coating on the highways. This is very helpful for the day and night vision. Actually, this is the functional purpose of paint. So these are all called nowadays smart coatings. Now let me discuss about the overall purposes of paints. And before that, let us try to understand the ingredients of paint. Paint essentially consists of four important ingredients: pigment, resin, solvent, and some additives. Additives are small chemicals added in small quantities to serve certain purposes like enhancing the drying time or drying, or improving the adhesion, or providing the water resistance, then to avoid the skinning of paints, etc. Now let me focus on the pigment. This can be classified into two parts, that is true pigment and false pigment. True pigments, actually they are imparting colors, they offer colors. The coloring matter, which is nothing but some inorganic or organic materials. Whereas extenders, which are the false pigment, it is used just to fill up the surface. In fact, by incorporating this, you can reduce the cost also. But at the same time, extenders do not have hiding power, whereas true pigments have better hiding power. Because the purpose of a painting, the purpose of a coating a paint on a surface is to hide the surface, is it not? So the hiding power is very, very important as far as pigment is concerned. We have three values of a paint. One is aesthetic value, that is, it has got the decorative value. It is to enhance the beauty of a surface. Secondly, it acts as a protective coating that works against corrosion, weather, humidity, fouling, microbial attack, etc. And there is a third aspect about the paint, that is called the functional use of paint. It is used to serve a particular function. For example, as we already discussed in the introduction, the application of luminous paint on the highways, the tar road, where fluorescent or black and white paints are applied. Of course, they are applied on the trees on the sides of the highways also. It helps the driver for smooth traveling. And there is another type of paint called sound deadener. It reduces the vibration noise of a sheet metal component. Particularly, it is used in buses and trains. So they are called acoustic paints. So these are the functional uses of paint. Now, as I already explained, I have shown here some luminescent coatings, and you can find in some interior, that is indoor paintings also. Now, what are the major ingredients of paints? As I already discussed, pigment, that is the coloring powder, and extender, it is the false pigment. Then resin, that is the important component of the paint, which is nothing but the polymer or varnish. Then we have got some mixture of petrochemical solvents, alcoholic solvents, ketonic solvents, etc. And we have some additives. When we think of paint, that is, we are very much interested in colors. And pigments are responsible for importing colors. They are the coloring matter. In fact, pigments can be broadly classified into inorganic and organic. Inorganic pigments are metal-based oxides chlorides, sulfates, and some minerals, etc. There are some natural inorganic pigments, and they are inorganic minerals, we can say. And similarly, nowadays, variety of modern organic pigments have been uh, tried also. Now, the pigments can be broadly classified into, as I already suggested, inorganic and organic, where we have got white in inorganic and colored in inorganic. In white, particularly, it gives more opacity, so it is called opaqueness. And titanium dioxide, zinc oxide, lithopone, zinc sulfide, they give better opaqueness, that is opacity, hiding power. There are some non opaque, that is non hiding pigments like calcium carbonate, talc, barium sulfate, mica, silica, clays, etc. They are all called pseudo pigments or false pigments. They can also be called the extenders. By adding suitably, we can reduce the cost also, but without compromising on the hiding power and other important quality parameters of the finish. Now, let me come back to the colored inorganic pigments. They can be classified into natural and synthetic. Natural pigments are ochres. The yellow ochres are very popular. Umbras, then hematites and magnetites. And then we have variety of synthetic inorganic coatings. And we have got cobalt blue, cobalt green, iron browns, and we have got some rutile of nickel titanium yellow, chromate titanate, manganese titanate browns are very popular. Then we have got metal oxides like iron oxides, chrome oxides. Then we have got some metals salts like chrome yellow. We have got different types of chrome yellow also, like lemon chrome, middle chrome, orange chrome, etc. Then we have got molybdate orange, iron blues, and we have got other pigments like ultramarine blue, metallic pigments, carbon blacks. So these are all very popular synthetic compounds. And we have some phosphates also. Now let me explain one by one. Let me talk about these natural pigments. By its nature, after all, by its name, it's naturally available. They are all excavated from minerals. For example, this is yellow ochre, which gives yellow shades. And we can make use of different yellow shades by making use of different pigments obtained from different locations. Their tonal variations are very useful for us to give more different colors. This is the yellow ochre from another location. You could have seen these two difference. I mean the difference between these two types of yellow ochres obtained from different locations. Now this is darker and this is brighter. Then these in those days these yellow ochres and iron oxide yellows were used in ceramics. Ceramic pots are very popular with these yellow oxides. Indians and the Chinese, they have expertised in coloring ceramic materials. Generally, inorganic pigments are heat resistant, and we have got ambra pigments. Then we have got a variety of German, Japanese, Chinese, and Asians. They have expertised in this field actually. Now, ambra, which gives a beautiful coffee brown color. Now, in fact, that is several pigments have been used in olden days also. Hematites are iron-based pigments, and we have got magnetites. They have got the magnetic properties. These magnetic infused concrete pipes are very popular. Besides natural pigments, they are more synthetic and inorganic pigments. Now let us talk about metal oxides. Titanium dioxide is a major white pigment used in paint industries. Its brightness is something unique. Titanium dioxide pigment, they have got two types of crystal structures, rutile and anatase, TiO2, titanium dioxide. These rutiles have they have got a better that is opaqueness, that is hiding power than anatase. Of course, anatase type of titanium dioxide is used in water-based emulsion, distemper, and wall paints, whereas rutiles have got very good usage in good quality oil-based paints because they have got more hiding power than anatase, and its covering capacity is great. There are some properties of pigment. First of all, that is, it should give everlasting color, and it should have good hiding power, that is called opacity of the pigment. In fact, we can check the opacity of a red pigment like this. We can apply the paste of fixed quantity of pigment with the proper ratio of a particular resin or varnish or oil, and this can be applied on various surfaces. Thereby you can see the difference in the opacity. Of course, that is the good one will definitely hide. For instance, we have applied that is a white paint on the red surface, where you can see here it is totally opaque in the last case. Okay, so here it is almost transparent, so it means the hiding power is greater. So similarly, red pigment can be tried on the white surface. For instance, here we have tried the red pigment, so the opacity is superior here, is it not? And when it goes like this, when it is coated with a different opaqueness, you can see that is its hiding power is the least as the that is opacity goes down here. So it means that is its coverage is very poor when the opacity is the least. Then the red pigment totally covers the white surface. In the first case here, it is measured as 1.0. So it means it has got the fullest opacity. Opacity means hiding power. Now you can see the red becomes transparent slowly with fading also. So naturally, when the opacity goes off, it gets deteriorated also, and it may get fading very soon, and that is not a good pigment. Now let us talk about the dye. The dye gives color but does not give opacity, so that makes the difference. In fact, some people cheat coating inorganic with some artificial coloring dyes, but take care, by bleeding properties it can be easily found out. So there is one bleed test, that is with which we can easily find out the contamination with some rich dye, but it may easily fade off. And then that is pigment quality is very important in this case. So that is, let us talk about this titanium dioxide. Titanium dioxide, as I already explained, that is, it has got the two crystalline nature, that is anatase and rutile. Rutile has got better opacity than anatase, and that is why rutile is used in superior quality paints, that is oil based paints, whereas anatase is more comfortable with that is emulsion type of paints. Besides, we use zinc oxide, zinc sulfide, lithopone also as white pigments. Now, as I already explained, there are some non-opaque, that is powders with less hiding power, and they act as extenders, like in the case of calcium carbonate, talc, barium sulfate, mica, silica, clays, etc. So they are all called false pigment, that is pseudo pigments. They appear white but do not hide the surface. Such powders are used as extenders in paints. They are just fillers to reduce the cost of the paint. The quantity of extender is more in case of primer and primer surfacer. And there are some iron oxide and chrome oxide pigments. They are synthetically made, that is with rich colors. For instance, chrome yellows are very popular. We have got lemon chrome, middle chrome, then scarlet chrome. We have got various colors, and these are all the different yellow pigments okay, with the different orange tones, etc. Now, on the mask tone and reduced tone. So this is very important thing. I think that is we can discuss about this mask tone and reduced tone of a pigment. How to check this? This is one of the important characteristics of paint, so that we can evaluate, we can validate the quality of the pigment, particularly with the help of this mask tone and reduced tone. So I will explain about this two tests related to pigment to evaluate the quality of the pigment in the next video. Thank you very much for watching this video.